No idea. No. Yeah. Very nice watch. Very nice watch. Yeah. The nectar in every.
not on. It's not on. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshutarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nasta Prayeshu Vadeshu Nityam Bhagavasevaya Nityam. Today I am giving the class because the original speaker is not here. So today we are discussing Canto 7, Chapter 10, Verse 60. Siddhamrita Rasprasta Vajra Sara Mahajusha Uthastur Meghdalna Vedyut Ivayanaha. Siddhamrita Rasprasta Vajra Sara Mahajusha Uthastur Meghdalna Vedyuta Iv Vayana. Siddhamrita Ras Sprasta Vajra Sara Mahajusha Uthastur Meghdalana Vedyuta Iv Vayana. Please repeat. Siddhamrita. Thank you. Thank you. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. When the dead bodies of demons came in touch with the nectar, their bodies became invincible to thunderbolts. Endowed with great strength, they got up like lightning penetrating clouds. So we go with the word-to-word translation. Siddhamrat Rasprasta, the demons, thus being touched by the powerful mystic nectarian liquid, the demons thus being touched by the powerful mystic nectarian liquid, Vajrasara, their bodies becoming invincible like thunderbolts. Maha-Ojsa, being extremely strong, Utsaha again got up. Meg Dalna, that which goes through the clouds. That which goes through the clouds. Vajjuta, lightning, which penetrates the clouds. Iva, like Vayanaha. They got up like lightning, penetrating clouds. So, what we have to consider that in this material world, if one is not a devotee, then he is completely useless. In other words, we have to do service to Lord. And if we are not doing service, because that is our position, our original position is Jive Sarupaya Krishna Nit Das. We are eternally servants of Lord Krishna and his representatives. That means spiritual master also, because he is direct representative of Krishna. So if we don't do service to Lord and his pure devotees, like Srila Prabhupada, then our life, human life, is useless. We cannot sustain our life without service. And if we are doing service to the material world, that means we are serving Maya. And if we are serving Maya, then we are going away and away from Krishna. So the only way to come closer to Krishna, the easiest way is, as I always say, A, B, C, D, E. First thing is, you have to have a strong faith. Because if we have got strong faith, then only we will do all the service and whatever is necessary to go closer to Krishna. Sambandh, Abhideya and Prayojan. So first thing is, A means association. If we have faith, we get association of the devotees. And that will make our faith much stronger and much really strong, like thunderbolts. In this verse they are telling that when the demons touched the nectar, their body became like a thunderbolt. Thunderbolt means you cannot really break it. So, and they immediately became like clouds. Like clouds penetrate the electricity, penetrate the cloud, the lightning. We call in Hindi, what do you call in Hindi lightning? Bijli, yeah. So like the electricity goes through any conductor or even non-conductor like cloud, then you can see it straight, flash. So similarly, if you become a devotee, you become so prominent in the whole world that you're lightning, lightning. For example, we can see Anand Balva in our association. He is so great. He examines even the papers of the Bhaktivedanta. So you can see that and he gives lectures. I have heard his lectures. So I'm just giving an example that how each and every devotee, whether we are making garlands or you are putting books together, even little boys like our friend Prahlad, he is making groups of books so that we can distribute, because at the moment most of the people are away for the distribution of books and in the marathon. So therefore, I'm thankful to you for giving the opportunity of talking today. Now, so as we were saying, A means association. Association of devotees is most important thing. Then next is reading the books. Now Prabhupada has given such enormous literature. He has dug the whole Vedic literature and giving so many nice books. Even the small books like self-realization. It's only about 70 pages book. And you can know why we have to be self-realized. Why we should be self-realized. Because if we think we are body, that means we are not self-realized. Self-realized means we are pure spiritual soul. So our duty of pure spiritual soul is to serve Krishna. And if our duty is to serve Krishna, Master, that means we have to come closer to him. The more closer to him, the more greater we become. Lord is so kind. Even if we are not devotees, still he gives us food. Have you seen any elephant thin? No. Elephant doesn't do anything. And he eats so many tons of food, maybe 40 tons sometimes. They are so what I mean is that if we don't do, even without working, you can become fat. Example, Sudama. Sudama was a Brahmin. He was so poor. He was very learned. But because he was poor, therefore, he was just concentrating on his literature. So there's a very good example of B means books, reading books, reading literature, like a Brahmana. So B is books. C is chanting the holy name. That is the most important thing Srila Prabhupada says. Chanting the holy name, because this holy name is coming from the spiritual world. Now, if this holy name is coming from the spiritual world, it has a meaning. If we chant the holy name, we become fully self-realized. I can guarantee even 3 months, you can become very far advanced. So, those who are not doing chanting, is there anybody here in the class who is not chanting? Please be courageous. Raise your hand. Anyone is not chanting? They say even chanting one holy name. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Even chanting one holy name, you can go to spiritual world. But should be pure chanting. That gives me example of so many things in Bhagavatam. Ajamil was a son of a Brahmana. You have heard the Ajamil story, Canto 6. It's a very important story in Bhagavatam. Ajamil was from a very good family, Brahmana family, very well educated, highly learned, erudite scholar. But he was asked by his father to collect some flowers. So he went to the garden, and there in that garden, in that forest, I would say, in that forest there was a garden. So he saw a beautiful lady. And that lady was hugging her boyfriend. And he was so much attracted to that scene that he collected the flowers, but he followed that girl and married her. He was a married man leaving his wife and going to a prostitute. And this man had several children, I don't know how many, I must say, several children with this prostitute. And he threw his own wife in dungeon. And this man had the courage. Now his many children, and one of the child was, he called him Narayan. That was also providence, that some religious people came to his house and they suggested that his son's name should be Narayan. Now, when the Yamdutas came to bind him, when life was finished, span, and he was called to Yamraj. So Yamdutas came, and Yamdutas came to take his soul out from the body. And he happened to say, Narayan! Just by one Narayan. But it was so pure because he was in so much anxiety. Oh, my soul is being taken away by the Yamdutas. So, by Narayan, one word, the Vishnu Dutas came, because it was pure chanting. So that's what the example is, one by one chanting of the holy name. It's so important. So nobody raised the hand that they are not chanting. So I believe everybody is chanting. Am I right? Sometimes? Good. Sometimes even say Hare Krishna is also a meaning. You are not only purifying your soul, you are purifying the atmosphere also. If you are in a forest, even the forest, the birds, the reptiles, everybody. So chanting the holy name, so the Vishnu Dutas came, so there were 4 Yamdutas and 3 Vishnu Dutas. And the Vishnu Dutas just stopped the Yamdutas. You cannot take this person. And they said, it's impossible, you cannot take. You go away to Yamraja, tell them that Vishnu Dutas have stopped us. So the Yamdutas were very sorry because they could not do their duties, and therefore they went back and they asked Yamraj, what is this? we thought you are supreme. But first time we have known that you are not supreme because some people just interfered with our job. So then he gave the lectures. So it's a long story. I won't go in that. But Yamraj said, no, I am not supreme. Although he is one of the 12 Mahajans, but he is not supreme. The supreme is Narayan or Krishna. Krishna tu Bhagavan Swayam. Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, 28th verse, Krishna tu Bhagavan Swayam. It's a very important verse. It is the verse with which you can learn the whole Bhagavatam and you can really get a lot of information from Bhagavatam. Krishna tu Bhagavan Swayam. So the main thing is reading the books, now chanting, and D is deity worship. By deity worship, see in Melbourne temple how nicely deities are decorated, how nicely they are giving prasadam, how nice garlands they are made by the women, ladies. They are doing all such good service. So they are the examples, and how clean and posh. See the floor, shining beautifully. And the utensils, the paraphernalia, the flowers, the garlands, the lamp, everything. So that deity worship is the most important thing, as we know. And E is of course prasadam, which we'll get 9 o'clock today, because it won't be a long class. So I'll leave you at 9 exactly, so you can enjoy a prasadam. So the main thing is A, B, C, D association. So please come to the class, come to Bhagavatam class, and even if you haven't got time, you can go upstairs and have prasadam. That also will purify you a lot. I'm not suggesting that just come only for prasadam, because my friend many times says that in class there are only 7 or 8 people, but in prasadam there is a big line queue. So we don't blame, because Srila Prabhupada said that nobody should be hungry at least for 10 kilometers around the temple. So this is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So all the spiritual masters are giving so much mercy. And each and everybody is emphasizing chanting the holy name. That is the summum bonum, basis of our ISKCON preaching. Now, so we discussed about the story of Sudama Brahmin. His wife was very much perturbed that she is not able to feed her husband, because the husband was getting thinner and thinner. And there was nothing else, nothing to eat even for the children. So she was telling again and again, please go and see your friend. Why don't you see your friend? Your friend is like an ocean. He has got so much money. From the ocean you take out bucket, 2 bucket, you can even tank, but doesn't matter, does it? So if you go to Krishna, your own friend, then he will give you whatever you need. And that's what happened. So she was forced to, thank you very much. So he was forced by his wife to go to Lord Krishna. Now Sudama said, I cannot go to my friend without any gift. So his wife said, all right. So she went to her neighbors and got some puffed rice, those puffed rice, and the Sudama put it in his he tied a knot around his cloth and went all the way to Dwarka. So you can see he was near Porbandar, I think. I don't remember exactly. So Porbandar to Dwarka may be at least 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles. So he went all the way, and then he went to the palace of Lord Krishna, asking people, where is the palace, what is the way? He didn't know anything. And when he reached there, the doorkeeper stopped him. Who are you? How can you go to the palace? So he was very humble, very meek, very gentle, and but his dress was so torn. His shoes were torn. In Hindi, there is a poem, they say, dhoti, pati lati, juta, no shoes, torn shoes, and he reached the palace. Somehow he convinced the gatekeepers to get into the Dwarka temple. Now, once he got in there, then he said, I am very close friend, I am a class fellow of Lord Krishna. So they were together, so they believed him, and then because of his humility and nice words, very convincing words, so they allowed him to go. And when Krishna heard even that Sudama has come, he just ran off. He was playing with his children in Dwarka, and he just ran off, and he just hugged him very nicely and brought him to his room and made him sit on his side bed. And then he washed his feet, and it is said that Dekh Sudama ki deen dasha, karuna karke karuna nidhi roye, pani parat ko छुयो नहीं और नयनन के जल से पद धोए. The meaning is that seeing the condition of Sudama, Krishna was so pleased. Pleased means seeing him, not the condition. Sorry. So seeing Sudama, he felt so that his tears rolled out from the eyes of Lord Krishna, the lotus eyes, and with the tears he washed the feet of Sudama. Although the queens were ready to give him water to wash his feet, still. Now after taking the Charnamat, again Lord wanted to drink all the Charnamat himself, but the queens objected. No, if you take Charnamat, then we will be destitute, poor completely. So you cannot, Lord, you can't have all. So you can have one sip and then give the rest to us. We will distribute in ourselves. So you can see the generosity of Lord Krishna and how he respects his visitors. So that's very important in Indian culture. We give Atithi Samman. Atithi Samman means guest, arrival of guests, and looking after the guest and taking care of guests. So Sudama was made to sit on the side bed of and also I am told, I don't know exactly, that Lord Krishna gave his bed also for him to sleep. So this is the generosity of Lord Krishna, how much he loves his devotees. So if all of you become a devotee, then Krishna will definitely take you to spiritual world. Provided we are chanting the holy name nicely, absorbed, without any disturbance, without any real absorption in the lotus feet. Now we will have good absorption only when we know about Krishna, because you can't remember somebody if you don't know them. So you have to know more. So that means you have to go to books of Srila Prabhupada. So we have to do reading of the books, association to the temple as much as possible. Even if you have got examination, you should come to the temple, take darshan and Charnamat, and then prasadam, and you can go. So that's a shortcut I am telling. I am not recommending that, but if you have no time, you can even go. Even if you are, I know some children, some mothers, their husband is sick and the wife is working to support the family. And that lady has got 2 sons. And she sends one son to the school. The second son, she carries along all the way from, I won't name the person, but she comes from Point Cook by train and tram. She has to stay in the tram twice with little 3-year-old baby. Then next to the work, there is a school, for the children to play. She leaves the child and then goes to work. And she works from 9 to 4:30 or 5. So you can see the two sons being looked after, husband is looked after, and she is looking after the house, she is looking after the whole family and herself. So you can see how much sacrifice you have to do. Sometimes we come to Australia because there is a lot of money, but everybody is not rich here. And this is the main thing. So many people are on. So we have to keep the body and soul together. We have to work, and to keep the soul intact and close to Krishna, we have to chant. So that is the main message I want to give. A, B, C, D, E. Now there are a lot of other things we learn in Bhagavatam. There are so many stories because Bhagavatam is full of glories of Krishna and his pure devotees. So there are so many stories. They are really, you can say, you can understand so many things. They are real good stories to go into. Now, if we know some prayers like Nirman Moha, Jitsanga Dosha, Adhyatma Nitya, Benivatta Kama, Dvandve Vimukta, Sukha Sange Gachanti Mula Padmanamtyam. So this is from chapter 15, I think, verse 7. Nirman Moha means we have to be detached from the material world. Jitsang Dosha means our association should be with devotees. Adhyatma Nitya, we must study at least half an hour or 1 hour. Besides your school books or course books, we have to study Shastra to have knowledge. Then only we will think that you are thinking that you are soul. If you think you are body, you are always thinking of money. Because without money you can't do anything. You can't even get out of the house. So you have to have money, but at the same time we have to think of the soul also. Otherwise the human life is a waste. Sometimes Lord Krishna might be thinking that why I have given a human body to this ex-soul. Because Lord Krishna knows each and everybody thoroughly well. Because he knows his past, everyone's past, present and future. So don't think that nobody knows you. Krishna knows each and every soul individually, and all the past activities, present activities, and even the future. Trikalagya. Even his pure devotees like Naradji, so many others, they know the past, present and future. So everything what Prabhupada has written is 100% truth. I am telling you from my own experience. Each and every place I have found Lord Krishna's hand. He's working. Even my friend will tell you that how much he has become a devotee by coming association with the temple and eating nice prasadam. He tells me all the time, he misses, when he goes to New South Wales, he misses Melbourne, and especially Melbourne prasadam. So this is a fact. Prabhupada has given such enormous, he has done such hard work to make us, to give us this place where we can sit together and discuss Bhagavatam topics. Now, Nirmana Muhadusangosha. Now, the main thing in Gita is Sarv Dharman Paritajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tam Sarpabhagyo Mokshayam Ashil. That means that you have to surrender unto me, no matter what religion you are, whether Christian or Catholic, whatever religion you have got, but you have to surrender to Krishna. Then only you can get over the Maya, because the material energy, which is also Lord's energy, that's why it's so strong. Devi Yasha Gunmayi Mamaya Dhratya Mamevi Prapadante Maya Metam Trantite. That means this material energy which everybody is following, material energy means mainly money. We are following the money, that is material energy. So that is also very strong because it is divine energy. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.14, Devi Yasha Gunmayi Mamaya Dhratya mame vipa padante maya me tamse. The only way you can get over, cross over this maya is by surrender. And surrender, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarvadharman Pratyajya Mamekam Shramvaja Aham Tam Sarvayam Mokshami Mashacha. Then Krishna also, you might say, why I am poor? Because of our past karmas. Because if our karmas are bad, we get a lot of miseries, a lot of problems. So, because Krishna says that I treat everybody equal. I treat everybody equal, but according to past karmas, you get different bodies, and not only human bodies. We can get animal bodies also. That reminds me, when I was 4-year-old only, I'll tell you my own story. No talking, please. So, when I was only 4-year-old, my mother used to say, Punrapi janini jatre shenam traye murare. That means that if you don't become a devotee in this life, you can become even a dog or cat in next life. This is a fact. And I was so afraid, I told her, look, I want to be devotee. And that's the beginning, how I started. Because my mother and father, they were great devotees. They used to go in the morning. They won't even let me get up after 6 a.m. I must get up before 6. And my mother will plead, no, he slept late. So my father will curse her. Why did he sleep late? Why didn't he sleep early? So that he can go to the park and study and hear the Bhagavatam lecture. So I was born in Agra, the city of Taj Mahal, and the temple where I used to hear Bhagavatam lecture was about 3.5 kilometers, as it is here also in Melbourne, 3.3 kilometers from St. Kilda Road. So why I am saying that 3.3 kilometers I used to walk every day morning, and before 6 I must leave home to reach there at 6:45, and the class started at 7. So 15 minutes before. So my father taught me to be punctual, to be honest, to be sincere, to be truthful. So this is the teaching. So your upbringing, you see, also brings a lot of things. The upbringing in the family also gives you a lot of impetus to grow up and become a citizen, a civilized person, I mean. So then I did my schooling, then colleging, and even while I was a student, I used to teach students because my father was not very rich. Why I am saying that you don't have to be rich, but just so family, but we were 5 brothers, 4 sisters. So it's a big family. And my father's earning was 70 rupees at that time. 70 rupees means $1.5 per month. That was the income. And 11 people in the family. Then we had a auntie, she was widowed, and so he had to look after that. So when I was studying in my BSc also, I was taking tuition, doing, teaching. So you don't have to be rich. And in fact, if you are somehow, Lord has put in an average family, you have to work very hard and get up. And then my brothers were there in New Delhi. So from Agra I went to Delhi. And in Delhi, then I was working in Marine Institute of India. It's a very good job. And then I always wanted to be a doctor because my family didn't, but my neighbors wanted me to be doctor. My class fellow wanted to be doctor. This is interesting. So, but getting into medicine is very difficult, as you know. Now, of course, it's very, very difficult. It's a big competition everywhere. And then when I took my entrance examination, my brother told me, you have to improve your English. Your English is not good. So you won't be taken in the medical school. So I said, so what should I do? He said, prepare for IAS examination. Indian Administrative Services Examination, UPSC. And I don't know, Krishna, he passed me also. And then there were English subject in the medicine, chemistry, physics, English and biology, 4 subjects. So somehow Lord put me in the medical school, and then made from MBBS. Then there was, there's another story. Why I'm telling? Because interesting how Krishna makes a path of for each of us, how to traverse that path. So if you are righteous, if you follow sincerely, you will definitely be successful. So then 1962 October, there was a big attack on India by China. And they're very aggressive. So October 62. So I was in the final year at that time, 62. So our director from Bombay, Surgeon General from Bombay, very learned man, his name was Dr. B.B. Dikshit, Brahmin. So he called us in a meeting in the evening, and he told all the boys and girls, all of you must go to the army at least for 3 years. And then he said, I know a lot of people don't want to go to the army, but I'll give you a concession that when you come back, Arundhati, you are not listening. When you come back from the army service, you can get admission to any post-graduation course, MD or MS, any degree, without any competition. So that's wonderful. So we all raised our hand, yes, we will go to the army. So we went to the army. It was a very good service, make you really good exercise, make you strong, and give you a lot of money, lot of salary, because we were in the field area at that time. There was still a lot of war going on the northern border of India. So all our money was coming in the bank in Pune. So whatever we are earning for 3 years, we collected, and that gave us ticket to come to Australia. So I'm telling you how Lord has given you the path to get to here. So I didn't know about Australia much, but that sort of says another interesting story. Why I'm telling you? Because how Lord gives you the guidance, and if you follow that path. Now, in our institute, there was a gentleman, he was with turban, Sardar at that time. So he said, because I was in the army, then I went back to institute to do my Master of Surgery degree. So I had a scooter. Army gave me a scooter when I left the army. They gave me a lot of money and a scooter also. So somebody asked me, he was doing MD in medicine, can you give me a lift to Australian High Commission, which is about 10 kilometers from institute in New Delhi. So I said, all right. So he said, no, I have to go this morning only. So I just saw the schedule, and that day some professor was sick. So we came to, I said, all right, so we'll take you there. And there also, when I went there was a clerk, I still remember his name, Mr. Singh. So this gentleman, doctor, introduced me to him, that this fellow brought me to the High Commission. So that way, the High Commission, Mr. Singh told me that you have to take a form to go to Australia. I said, what? So he said, it's a free form, just fill in. At that time they needed a lot of doctors in Australia. So you fill the form and then your way is clear. Most probably you can go to Australia. I said, that'll be good. So when I came home, So I showed the form to my wife. She said, "No, I'm not going. You can go if you want to." So, in any case, I filled the form for both of us. And when the interview came, she was so impressed. She said, "All right, we'll go to Australia." So then I came. First I came on my own. And I said, if I don't find Sydney good, I'll come back within 4 weeks. She said, "All right, bye-bye." So I came and I got the job the next day. I came, somebody picked me, because that also, one of my patients' son, I was looking after him, and he was so impressed. He was in Australia for about 3 years, and his son used to be sick. He had upper respiratory infection and bronchitis and whatnot, and tonsillitis and other things. So he came to the institute, outpatients. So I saw him. So I examined nicely. So he said, "In Australia, no doctor saw me so well. You are the best doctor." I said, "No, I'm not the best." But he became so friendly. He gave me even the Sydney guidebook about the road directions and everything. And he introduced me to a friend. He was a fellow from Europe, and he picked me from the airport, Sydney airport, and he took me to his own hostel, and I was his guest for 3 days. Next day he took me to the New South Wales Medical Board, got me registration, and I got the job in Liverpool Hospital. Can you beat it? Without knowing anybody, without knowing any direction, like Srila Prabhupada's life. He went to, in Jalduta, he knew only one family, and Mr. Agarwal, and his Agarwal was in Philadelphia's son, so he stayed there with them, and how he managed and successfully preached to the whole world Krishna's message. You won't believe how much difficulty Prabhupada had to spread the message to the Western countries. But why he went? Mainly because his spiritual master ordered him that you know English so well, I want you to preach this message of Mahaprabhu to the Western civilization. And Prabhupada also had 40 rupees in his pocket when he left India, and he made crores, 108 temples. Within, I think, 10 years, he made more than 100 temples. I don't know exactly. So what I am telling you, that Krishna will guide you, definitely, if you take care of your soul. If you neglect your soul, unfortunately, what my mother told, you can become a cat or dog also in next life. I'm not saying that anybody will become, but they can, depending, because the material world is so difficult these days. It is becoming more and more difficult. Of course, Australia, you have got social services, you can exist, you can even lie down on the beach and you can get your food. And of course, some people are still there, they are lying on the streets also. But that's unfortunate, because they spend their social service money also within 1 week or so, and they become completely $1, because they drink also. Now drinking is another thing. That's why Prabhupada says, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating, and no illicit sex. So these 4 important things, and of course 4 regulative principles. So this is important thing, that we all can become pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. He has told us the path, the way, how we can get in. So the main thing is, we have to be sincere in our service. Sincere and honest as far as possible. I wouldn't say very honest, because sometimes, the other day I went to the Coal shopping center, and I told them I am taking 6 corn, what do you call them? The corn, the big green ones, what do you call them? Popcorn? Yeah. So I told them I've got 6, but she didn't charge. So what can you say? I told her, and she's not charging. So what we have to say that we have to be honest, declare everything. When you come to Australia, you have to declare. Even if you have nothing, you can say, well, I've got something. So they can see your luggage. So they won't charge you because now they are putting fines. They're very strict when you come in, immigration, come in to Australia, that if you don't declare something, some people didn't declare some fruit, some flowers. One of my friends went to Bali, and in Bali there are nice big temples, Indian temples. So the pujari gave, the priest and the temple gave to his wife a lot of flowers. And by chance she put those in her purse. And when she came for immigration, Sydney, even the husband didn't know that there are flowers. But the dog was there. So the dog smelled the flower. And there was a big uproar in the airport. Why the Indian lady is bringing the flowers? So I'm telling to all the people that you must declare that, yes, I have got something. So at least they won't charge you. Otherwise the fine is now $1,900 if you don't declare and bring something. So we have to be very cautious. So honesty, sincerity. There are 7 minutes to 9. So if there are any questions, you can ask me. Sorry, I'm not giving any details about Bhagavatam. I can tell some stories, but the main thing is, in this chapter, Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees. So in the whole chapter, all the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, and because Prahlad Maharaj is pacifying the Lord with his prayers, which are very important prayers. And if we remember some prayers from Bhagavatam, that will also help. So prayers is very important. Then they telling about how the asuras have tasted this amrit in this verse, and they became like thunderbolt and so strong, and then they are shining like clouds, like electricity. What we say, vidyut, electricity going through the clouds. So this is the main. So if there are any questions, please do ask. Arundhati has got some questions. No. Prabhuji? John has got a lot of questions. What about Tim? Okay, then we leave it here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Time about Ajamil Suri.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.